Alright, so now we're going to implement the front-end user interface using MUI. Alright, so there's a couple different ways you can install it. We're going to use Bower, which is a front-end package manager. So I'm going to go to our command line here, make sure your server is stopped. And we're going to first install Bower. So you want to do that with npm install-g Bower. And that'll install it globally. Alright, so once that's installed, make sure you're in the devlogger root. And we're going to install MUI, but before we do that, we want to make it so that when we install things using Bower, it goes into public and then in a folder called Bower Components. Alright, so you want to make sure you're in the root here, and we're going to create a new file, and it's going to be called .bowerrc. Alright, and we can specify the directory in here. We're just going to put in an object here and say directory, set that to the public folder, and then a folder called Bower Components, and save. Alright, so now we can go back to our command line and say Bower install -- save MUI. Alright, and then we'll run the server again with npm start. Okay, and now if we look over here inside public, we now have, well, we don't have it. Yeah, here it is, Bower Components, and you can see we have MUI, and then in a folder called packages, CDN, CSS, and that's the CSS file we want to include. So let's open up index.html. And we're going to go right here, style sheet, href. Okay, and then from here we're going to go to /bower _ components /MUI /packages /CDN /CSS /MUI.css. Alright, now we'll include that file. So let's save it. And now if we go over to our application and reload, you can see that the design has changed a little bit, the fonts and so forth. So now we're going to add some classes and just style this up a little bit. So we'll go into our app HTML file. So app component.html, and I want to grab a nav bar. So if we go to the MUI site here, and let's see, CSS.js. Actually, you know what we can do is go to example layouts and then landing page. Alright, so this is the page we want. So if we click view in tab and then do a control U, I'm going to grab from this header tag all the way down. We don't need the footer, so all the way down to this div right here. Copy that, and then we're going to put that in here, and then take this logs, cut it, and we'll put this, we want to go inside the wrapper. I'm not going to need any of this stuff here. Let's see, down here. And we don't need this button, so we'll paste it right here. Alright, and let's see, we're not going to need these li tags. And then for the title right here, we're going to change that to devlogger. And we'll save that. Okay, let's see what that gives us. Alright, so now we have our little nav bar. Now what we want to do is go to our logs component HTML file, and we want to add some stuff to the form here. Actually, no, what we'll do is go to the MUI site here, and let's go to CSS.js forms, and I want to grab this form right here. Copy that, paste it underneath this one, and then we're just going to grab some stuff. like the event and the add log function. Put that in, and then we need, let's see, let's just grab this input, and we're going to replace this, and then we'll grab the developer input, and we'll put that one right here. Okay, we can get rid of this text area and its surrounding div. Alright, and then I think that should do it. So then we can get rid of this form. Alright, and then for the title right here, let's change that to add log. Alright, now I don't want this to extend all the way over, so we're going to put a div around everything and give it a class of MUI-container. Okay, and then we'll just end that down here. All right, now for the actual logs, we're going to go to this div right here, and we're going to add a class of MUI-panel. And there we go. Now for the delete button here, I want to actually make that a red button. So let's go over to where we have that button and add a class. And the class will be MUI-BTN and then MUI-BTN-danger. Alright, so now we have this red button. Let's get rid of this hyphen right here. Alright, I just want to move this down a little bit as well. So we'll go right here, put a couple line breaks. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's make sure everything still works. Okay, so that works, and we can delete it. Alright, so that's our application. It's very, very simple, but I wanted to introduce a couple new technologies to you that we could use along with Angular 2. So that's it. I will see you in the next project.